Sorry, this footage is going to be a bit shaky because my phone holder in this car wobbles around a lot, so just bear with it. But what's up, man? I've started this video probably 4 times now. I'm just leaving the gym as we speak, but I've started this video 4 times. Every single time I haven't been happy with what I recorded, not because it was anything bad or anything like that, but just like, oh, now kind of just talking lots of rubbish, not rubbish, but just talking heaps for the sake of making a video, you know what I mean? Up until today. So I decided this one I'm gonna send out to all my big people, man. Oh, so much love for all of yous. The ones that are struggling in it, the ones that are wanting to change it and get fitter and get healthier, all that kind of stuff, man. I have such a big heart for you guys, only because I was there and I know exactly how hard it is, and I've been this way 90% of my life, you know, 90% of my adult life. I've been a big guy, where I've always weighed over like 145 to 150 kgs. Like, I've probably weighed 140 kgs more times than I've weighed 120 kgs in my adult life. So for all you guys, man, I have such a heart for you guys, because I know that it's tough and it's hard, and a lot of, although now it's changing a lot and it's getting better, but a lot of the old school mentality is still floating around, where if you're fat, cardio, that's all you got to do, just lots and lots and lots of cardio, and that'll make you lose weight. And like, that helps, but in conjunction with a routine, like a weight routine, or some sort of lifting routine, or it could be like CrossFit, that's what I was trying to think of, like a CrossFit routine, or it could be something like that, you know, mixed in. Like, CrossFit's going to give you mad cardio anyway, because it is pretty high intensity, but yeah, like, something mixed in with cardio is going to help. Cardio alone is not going to make you drop all this weight and recomposition your body, whereas lifting mixed with cardio will, and you'll see results quite fast. Like, I've said it every video, it's been 5 to 6 months now, and how quickly my body is changing because I'm doing the two, mixing the two. But there's like a lot of misconceptions too with bigger people. I'm not going to call people fat. We're calling ourselves big people, because we are. With bigger people, there's a lot of misconceptions. One of those misconceptions is, because you're big, you're lazy. Because you're big, you eat a lot of food. Because you're big, you have these problems, etc., 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 etc. While some of them are true for some of us, I know that I can tick pretty much every category in that at some point in life. It's not always the truth. Like, we're doing exactly the same as everybody else. We're living life, we're doing shopping, we're cleaning our houses, we're going to work, we're doing all these things. If anything, we're doing it better than everyone else, because on top of doing all of that, we're carrying around this excess weight, and it's just making our structure stronger, you know what I mean? Everything that somebody else does, that a normal person does, we're doing it, but with weight on top. So if everybody put on a weight pack and walked around, essentially that's what you're doing, what a big person does. The only thing is that we've adapted to it because we've been like this for a long time, or it's happened all of a sudden and our body's just adapted to it and grown to it and made up for the situation it's in, and now it's catering to it. But that's it. And then those who are like, oh, it's because you eat lots of food, Bro, one of my brothers could eat 3 times as much as I could eat growing up. If we went to, for example, we went to Burger King one time, right? I got a large combo with a small cheeseburger on the side. He came back with 4 large combos and smashed all of it. Never put on weight. I eat less than him, and I put on weight really fast. It's just the way it is, our metabolisms and stuff. But just because I'm big, it doesn't mean I can eat a lot. Get that out of your head. That one really, it starts to bug me a lot. It bugs me a lot, especially when you go to somebody's for dinner and they're like, are you sure you're not hungry? Like, bro, I told you I'm full. Like, if I said I'm full, I'm full. Stop trying to play me into a stereotype just because I'm big. And we get this a lot, and it's really annoying for the most part. It's really annoying. I get frustrated a lot with people because of that. And to be honest, it's old school mentality that just hasn't been corrected, or people haven't taken the time to refine their knowledge. You know, they haven't taken the time to actually go and have a look at why this is happening. You know what I mean? Like, some of us actually have medical conditions as to why they put on weight. You know, as to why we gain weight. This last stint of gaining weight was not because I was eating heaps, but it was a mix of the foods I was eating and the alcohol, because that's just basically calories in a bottle, the frequency of drinking alcohol, the amounts in which I was drinking, you know, in one sitting, and the drugs that I was on for pain meds, all my pain meds. The drugs that I was on was like killer. And they made me retain a lot of water weight. That's probably why I dropped weight quite fast after I stopped taking the drugs. But, you know, you don't see all of that. And people are not willing to look at that side of things too. People are always ignorant, like, oh, you're just fat. But they're not willing to actually look at what's going on in that person's life. So I have a heart for all my bigger people out there, man. I have such a heart for you all, because I know exactly what it's like. I've been played into the stereotypes. I've been called every fat name under the sun. I've been, you know, all that stuff. Everything. You name it, I've had it and done to me in my life. And sometimes by the most closest people, who think that it's funny and play a joke, or, you know, saying a joke and you laugh or whatever, but you know in reality that stuff hurts. Because especially when it's something that you've been dealing with all your life, you know. So yeah, as I was saying before, like, there's so many stereotypes when it comes to bigger people, and we all get lumped into a category of, oh, they're unhealthy because they're big, blah 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 blah. And while some of it is true, it doesn't mean you have the right to say that or you have the right to judge someone on that, because there are some thin people that are not very healthy either. And we all get lumped into the category of we either eat too much or we're lazy, which is not always the case, man. It's not always the case at all. Some do have underlying medical conditions as to why they put on weight. As I already said, you know, like, I had a brother that could eat 3 times as much as me. And it was just unfortunate that, you know, as a child, there were things that I done that created this kind of fat gain in my body. It happens, and unknowingly, whatever. But it is what it is now. Like, I had such a great childhood that I wouldn't take anything away from that. Like, it was good. And so now it's time for me to change those things by getting better at things and learning and educating myself so that I can change that. For all the bigger people out there that like want to lose weight and get healthy and all of these things, I'm going to give it to you straight. It's not easy. It's not, and it's going to be a lot of work. Well done, old lady. Sorry, someone cut me off. It's not going to be easy. It is going to be a lot of work, but if you want it, you have to go and get it. Like, no one's going to give it to you for free. No one's going to just wave a wand and you're going to be skinny all of a sudden and it's going to be all good. You have to really want this. And I think for me, the best part was finding out my why, because that gave me my how on how to train. Why at first was, why? Because my back, I had just come out of injury, and I needed to put strength back in my back, and I knew that the weight wasn't helping with my recovery. So for recovery reasons, I needed to lose weight, but also for health reasons, I needed to get healthier, because there was a long time there where I wasn't active, and all that kind of stuff, you know, and I just knew that my body had, you know, suffered from that. So that was my why. Once I got into the gym and started training even more, I then figured out what I really wanted out of this. Do I just want to stay healthy? If that's the case, then just keep minimal. Like, just keep doing minimal stuff. Do strength training just to maintain strength, a little bit of strength, a little bit of muscle, and do lots of cardio stuff to keep my heart good and all that kind of stuff. But that wasn't enough to me. I was like, nah, I could do better than this. Like, you know, and I just started watching lots of strongman competitions and stuff like that, and I kind of got inspired by that, and that was it. And so now I have my why. I also, because of that why, I have my how on how to train. But yeah, like the main things are, like, if you really, really want it, you have to go and get it. You can't just hope that it's all going to come to you, you know, it's all going to get better. Oh, if I do this, if you're only changing one aspect, that's cool, and that's a start. But if you're not changing every aspect of it, eventually, then nothing will really change. You will stay the same. You might have better stamina, you might have a better ticker, like your heart might be way stronger, but the weight just doesn't move because what you're doing outside of the gym. Your focus has to be, everything has to come together in order for it to all line up. And you can just carry on eating outside the gym without, you know, being in a deficit or anything like that, or worrying about what you're eating or anything like that. You can do that and still gym, and you will see some progress, but it's just going to take forever. Like, for myself, if I didn't change my eating, I wouldn't be where I'm at now. What's 26 kgs down now? I wouldn't be 26 kgs down now and feeling amazing, you know? Like, if I hadn't changed everything, if I had just come to the gym and left life outside of the gym the way it was, I wouldn't have changed anything. And that's kind of the key. That's kind of the main key to it all. Like, you got to think of it like a car, you know? Like, your weight training is your engine upgrades. Your cardio and all your cardiovascular stuff, all your heart stuff, that's all like your the efficiency of your engine. So you're giving your motor efficiency so that it doesn't overheat as fast, it doesn't cook itself as fast. And then your food is the fuel that fuels this whole system. So if you are putting in crappy fuel, it's like running a high-powered car on 91 fuel. It's just not going to work. Like, yeah, it'll run. Yeah, it'll give you some output. It'll give you some cool performance numbers and stuff like that. But you're not using it to its full potential. When you clean up your food intake, your fuel becomes like premium race gas, like avgas. And once it's like that, your car will then run at its peak performance, and it'll be like running at max stats. Everything is running to its peak, and you're getting high power output. It's like that. And so we've got to think of it in that same way. Right, we finished at the gym for the day. But yeah, we've talked a bit about the misconceptions of the stereotypes and all that kind of stuff with bigger people that are based around bigger people, you know. And I've talked about that quite a lot in this video. But the other thing I think I'll talk about is like just how it affected me over my lifetime. Being called fat all the time, or people constantly just assuming that because you're big you eat more, or because you're big you're lazy and you don't do a lot, and all that kind of stuff, you know. And at first, when you first start coming head to head with these problems, it does take a toll on you, and you do end up building a resilience for it, and you do end up kind of, I guess, brushing it all off because you're just like, oh, whatever, I've heard it all before, kind of thing. And it does kind of take a mental toll eventually on you, where sometimes you can start to believe it when it's said so many times to you, and it's constantly repeated to you. You do sometimes start to believe it, or sometimes you just get to that point where you're like, you know what? If you think I'm lazy, stuff, and I'm going to be lazy because that's what you expect from me anyway. I'll show you what a big person can eat, like how much I can eat then, and you do that because it just becomes kind of ingrained in you. And these things can take a big mental toll. And it's not that I've always ate a lot of food or that I've been overly lazy, but it definitely does play a bit in my psyche, I suppose, or has over the years, and kind of has played its part. Constantly being judged for being big kind of sucks, man. Like, it really does. But hey, that's life. People are shallow. What can you do, you know? The other misconception of just eating less and more cardio is, I think it's an old school mentality. Now with all the research that has been done by all these great people out there doing this for us on our behalf, it's been corrected, and we can see that that's not the best way. Like, you can do that. You can cut your food to a quarter of what you eat now. You can run, you can exercise, you can do all this stuff, do a lot of cardio, and you can drop weight, and you can do it very fast. But it's also not the healthiest way. You can do that and not gain muscle, and you could be skinny as and still be kind of fat at the same time. You could be skinny as but be really weak at the same time. That's why for me the whole philosophy of eating a balanced diet and keeping within a lower calorie range whilst building muscle is the best way to lose fat. You turn your entire body into like a calorie eating machine, basically. Your metabolism, your muscles start taking everything and eating everything and turning it into fuel for your body. And I feel myself, just because I've been through this so many times, that this has been the best and most sustainable way to do things. And you can see the results, and it's kind of like that reward result kind of thing, you know, where you do the work, you see the reward, and yeah, the reward is not evident straight away, but it does start happening pretty fast, and you do start to see the reward. And once you see that reward, it kind of drives you a bit more, because it's that reward progress that we're used to from growing up. You know, we've been given this through school. You do so well in school, here's a gold star for doing that. You're rewarded for all your efforts, and it's kind of that same thing. And we, as people, kind of thrive off this kind of this kind of setup, this system. I know for myself anyway. And so that it just works so much better. But for all the people out there that judge bigger people based off their appearance on their own misconceptions, I challenge you to change your mindset in that, because you're not 100% right every time. Yes, some of us are lazy. Yes, some of us do eat too much, but some of us are none of those things at all, and we do struggle. And it sucks, man. Like, instead of pulling someone down, build them up. Like, why do you need to degrade someone to make you feel better? And the worst part is that 90% of the people that degrade the bigger people are the ones that are the least healthiest anyway. The ones that aren't eating the greatest. The ones that are not giving their body all the nutrients that it needs and all that kind of stuff. and probably have other underlying health issues, you know, and it's real annoying. Either that, or it's the ones that have such a big ego because they've lost all this weight and they're way up here now, and so they just portray their ego onto other people, and it just, yeah, it sucks. So, in all, this video was more to encourage all my bigger people out there. If you want to start this journey, I am willing to help anybody who needs it. I'm willing to even set my time aside just to help, because that's where my heart is for everyone. But also, you just know that I am in your corner 100% of the way. Every step of the way, I'm in your corner backing you. Even though I might not be able to physically be there with you to help you get your workout done, I am in your corner cheering you on every step of the way, because this journey is not easy. It's not easy, and it is going to be a lot of work for us. Like, I'm 6 months in. I could have lost weight fast, but I chose to do it this way. I'm 6 months in, and I'm still 134 kgs now. But I'm fitting clothes better than I ever have. I'm building muscle. I'm way stronger than I've ever been in my life. And so I encourage you. And if you're on the opposite end, where you're so small and you want to get big, there's healthy ways of doing that too. There's very healthy ways and very beneficial ways of doing it, so that you can bulk and get bigger, and you can put on bigger muscle and get stronger and all that kind of stuff. And I'm sure that we can always talk about that. I mean, I'm no nutrition, I'm no personal trainer, but I believe, like, I don't have anything bad against either of those. I think they play their part and they play it well, and I will eventually go to a personal trainer and nutritionist to dial everything in properly. But for now, this is where we're at, and it's taken me nothing but my own time, nothing but just actually wanting this so bad that I've spent all my free time, which is not a lot at the moment, studying all of this and researching and refining everything, and especially here, refining this the most, changing all those misconceptions, getting rid of all that old school mentality that worked back then, but, you know, now it's better, and changing all of this first, so that now I can put that down and make the tire meet the road, you know what I mean, and just start moving ahead. So yeah, the next video should be way more interesting. The next video I want to talk a little bit about nutrition and stuff like that, and I've actually already started that video, and I'm going to just show you all, this is what happens when you get rid of all your calorie counting for the weekend, and you just go and enjoy life, and go and enjoy every moment that, you know, we have to enjoy life too. And so this is what it looks like for me when I have those moments. And it's not all the time, and it's not often, but when I do, we do it well. So I think that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, man. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you everyone for all your support. It's been amazing. All your messages and all that stuff has been so amazing, and I've really thoroughly enjoyed hearing about other people's journeys as well. It's been really cool. So yeah, until the next one, cheers.